The world is different.
Beyond a lifetime ago, a war between nature and civilization arose overnight, seemingly without reason. 50 years ago, it paused in a tense stalemate.
1 year ago, on a cold winter's day, the mountainous city of Bulwark erupted as its long-held godly prisoner escaped his chains from beneath the stone. The decimation was the righting of a great wrong, but a terrible price was paid.
Our heroes, who set the freedom and destruction in motion, were called to the lands of their former enemy to help this god on his path to re-ascension. Their mission complete, their eyes turned back to a threat at home.
They look at their footprints, at the trail that they've blazed, a trail that led them to redemption and peace. Now, the same footprints lead them back home, and they walk a path where they might just find the end. And as the sun rises over the summit, they face the day together. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I continue to be your GM. Today, Mordecai makes a series of increasingly troubling discoveries, as well as a new friend. Thank you to our backers, Atan, Everett, and Tyler for their support. If you like what you hear and you like what we've been doing, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia. And with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down another path.
It's real.
It's happening.
It's really happening.
We're here. We're in it.
The real thing reminds me of the Coca-Cola thing, but I learned a camp thing that was a Coca-Cola jingle instead of the Coca-Cola jingle.
Okay.
I don't even remember the real Coca-Cola jingle, but it's the sun will always shine, the birds will always sing. As long as there is Christ, it's always the real thing. Jesus Christ came to die for our sins. Na 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 na, always Jesus Christ.
Coca-Cola.
Yay, kid camp. I don't know. It just
How long ago was this?
25 years, maybe 30.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
God, I'm old.
I can tell you about the camp song I randomly remembered the other day about Squirmy the Worm.
Squirmy the Worm.
Does anyone know this? Because it exists in my memory and I don't know where it came from.
So here's hit me with a few bars.
Okay, so it's very simple. It's kind of a call and not a call and response thing, but it's you go around and each person kind of takes the lead on one of it, and it starts. It goes. I was sitting on the front porch chewing my bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo doo-wop doo-wop, and along came Squirmy the Worm. You do know this.
I do know this. Yes.
Where did it come from?
Camp, summer camp.
And I said, Squirmy, what's up?
My dad was a camp director
yes.
when I was a little kid. So I grew up on most camp songs. Mm-hmm. At least secular and vaguely Jesus-y. Mm-hmm. But only vaguely Jesus-y. It was YMCA camp. It was a medium-sized C.
Do we want to talk about what we're doing here today? How much pretext does this need?
None. I mean, all right. The episode 100 has come out. Mm-hmm. Kim knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. The audience should at this point.
Yeah, don't jump in on this one.
I barely know what's going on.
Well, that's fair.
All I know is I'm doing some very dumb things.
I'm not entirely certain what your goals are, but Lou doesn't know either, so I figured I'd leave it for the game.
Yeah. I have half a plan, which I think is about all that Mordecai would be able to conjure, so...
That's fair.
Let's rock and roll.
All right.
Oh, God!
My God.
The real fear.
Mordecai. You take about half an hour, get your things together, and you take your leave. The main chamber of your suite in the Hall of Open Secrets is quiet as the grave as you take to the stairs and walk down. You find yourself in the main chamber of the Hall of Open Secrets. While repairs are underway, it is still evidently bearing the signs of your passing through. You scan the room trying to find somebody from the Betulan Brotherhood, whoever it is that's going to be ferrying you from here to hopefully back to the door, back to Erdan, when you get a tap on the shoulder. It is Nemesis Velite, the new head of the Casters Guild.
Right.
Mordecai, how are you doing?
Nemesis, hello. I'm fine.
Glad to hear it. I just wanted to, actually give you a bit of a parting gift. I was searching through my predecessor's office, and I found something that, frankly, I don't know why he had. It's of no use to, well, was of no use to him. It's of no use to me either. But I think this will fit your particular set of skills.
Just how cursed is this gift?
This gift is our first in a very long time fan-created item.
Oh, no. That's convenient. I just used the last one.
You're welcome.
As Nemesis pulls from his robe a jar that it seems to be filled with a sparkly cloud.
Okay.
This item was created by my dear brother Chuck.
Oh no.
This, Griffin,
Yeah.
is the jar of unicorn farts.
No. Charles, you fiend.
This will allow you to, one time, wild shape into a unicorn. You do have to huff the farts, though.
Look, I'll huff farts to be a unicorn. That's fine. Once per ever, huff farts equaled unicorn.
Yes, that's how that works.
Holy shit.
That is one of my favorite Mordecai lines now. I will huff farts to become a unicorn.
Look, I'll huff farts, no doubt about it. I have like 4 older brothers. You think I've never huffed a fart before? 3 older brothers, anyway. 2 of whom are dead, but that's beside the point.
Not when it mattered.
Yeah. Live enough long for me to huff their farts. Chase, you knew this there was going to be a solid, 2 minutes of fart-based humor.
I'm well aware. I am well aware.
I take the jar, and I go, okay. I think I twist the lid off a little bit and just take a little whiff, just a... Oh, God.
Sparkly.
It's like somehow smells like both cotton candy and an outhouse.
That's what I thought.
Well, thank you.
Of course. I wish you well. I wish you luck, and I hope you're able to resolve this.
Boy, howdy, I intend to.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a guild to round up.
Right. Good luck.
As Nemesis takes their leave, a member of the Betulan Brotherhood approaches. It is a goblin, one that you actually remember quite well from your time up north. Melaton approaches. Right then. Mordecai, good to see you again.
Oh, hi, hello. Melaton, right?
Excellent work.
Hey.
Right then. Ready to make your leave?
I think so. Could I have said that in the small break, in between here and now, I ran over back to the locked cask and just said hi to Kyron and have him marked my map of where we first met, just to just so I know exactly where I'm going.
There was not enough time for that. However, if you would like to try and do that, you can go ahead and do that now.
I think I would like to do that.
I'm pretty sure I know where we're going, but if you would like to double check, I'd be willing to look into that for you.
It should only hopefully just take a minute.
All right, let's go.
All right. I will... No, I don't know exactly what I'm getting into. I'm not going to burn a wild shape just yet. I'll grab one of our Chirip Striders, and
okay.
I'll just Meleton can ride with me, and I'll just rush down to the locked cask.
Sure. You make your way down to the locked cask. Or where it was.
Oh, no.
You arrive in the square that you spent your first days in the inn.
Oh, shit.
This entire place is ruined.
Shit.
Cinders all around. Smoke is in the air. There are cleanup efforts, but people are scarce.
I think I'll just call out, just like cut my hands and call out, Kyron! Ed! Either of you guys around? It's Mordecai!
There is no response from either Ed or Kyron.
Shit.
Somebody comes up to you. Yeah, man, I haven't seen him.
Haven't seen him either way?
Neither way.
Okay.
There's a chance it was chaos. It's possible that Kyron could have gotten Ed out of there. But he loved that place.
Yeah. Fuck. Give me 1 sec, Meleton.
Of course.
I'm gonna hop off real quick. I know I don't have a lot of time. We gotta get moving. But I'm gonna head up to the ruins of the locked cask. I'm gonna just take a piece of rubble, just wood, and kind of plant it into the dirt, like put a little bit of force in it and plant it into the dirt. And I'm gonna take out a my last steel piece that I got here in Lee. I'm gonna set it on top and then cast a produce flame on top of it, just to say a little memorial just in case the worst.
You set this memorial. What's your passive perception?
17.
The titular locked cask is still there, and the chains and bolts around it are holding fast. But you notice the wood is broken.
Oh. I gots to know. I'll trudge through over there and just investigate a little bit. Was it was there liquid running out of it?
No, it was like a locked chest.
Yeah.
There's no liquid running out, but you can see it looks like there's something small and shiny on the inside.
I'll grab it at the very least to so that I can return it to Ed and it doesn't get stolen.
It's about the size of a saucer, printed steel plate that says free drinks for life.
Oh, Ed. I really hope I can get this back to you. I will pocket it. And this just gives me an excuse to visit Lee again. And with that, I'll return to Meleton and say, all right, well, there goes that idea. I guess let's get moving.
Right. Let's go. He directs you out towards the woods past where you came in. And you go about a mile into the woods before you see a notably tall tree. It is snow-covered like everything else, but it has branches that are jutting off in different directions. And Meleton pulls you to a stop. This'll do.
All right.
Right. Come on down.
Yep. I'll hop off my Chirip Strider, and I think I grab the reins and preparing to bring Amber with me, but then I realize this isn't going to be a good place for you, so I'll go so far as to take the saddle and all of the barding off and things like that, and set it off to the side, and I'll cast a Speak with Animals through the ring real quick. Put a hand on the side of Amber's face and say, "You're the first cool wild animal."
You talk?
Oh my god. I can sometimes.
We have been going for how long and you just now talk?
Hello?
Hello?
This is kind of awkward because I was just about to say a really fond goodbye. Yeah.
Okay.
You do it so often, you sometimes forget that you're not doing it all the time.
Yeah, I apparently. What? Okay, goodbye.
I'll be back. So hopefully, if you're gonna be hanging out and leave for like a couple years, I might be back.
I really don't have a whole lot of say in the matter.
Yeah, it's fair. All I was gonna say was that you helped me kind of appreciate the wilds a whole lot more than I initially thought I would, and just thank you. You've been a very good friend.
Well, I'm happy to help, I guess. This is still very strange.
Yeah, I really didn't think that one through.
Fair.
Go be free, be with your kind if you want, or head back to the city and...
I'm probably going to head back to the city.
Yeah. All right, well, take care of yourself.
You too.
Thanks. I'll
talk this whole time and not talking to me.
I was talking to you, just couldn't understand it.
The same thing and you know it.
I was... I talked to plants. The plants appreciate it, I'm pretty sure.
Meleton takes you by the hand and places a hand on this massive tree. And as you watch, you see this tree go wobbly and shaky. It's not like the tree itself is shifting in the breeze, but it looks like where the tree is and should be is shaking and pulsing. And you can see, like, the bark is shifting and moving as a part of it.
Mordecai says out loud, I'm a druid. This is totally not scary.
Deception check?
I mean, no. I just...
Okay.
3.
It's going to be fine. Just, when did you have lunch?
Lunchtime.
All right, I'm going in first.
I don't let go of his little goblin hand. I let him lead me in.
He leads you in an odd facsimile of like a kid leading their dad into a park. And the moment you cross that tree line, the literal line of that tree, your vision flashes, and you can see place after place after place after place after place after place after place all throughout the wilds. And you are canny enough to realize you are seeing the perspective of every single tree of this kind between you and your destination. And you are bouncing vistas and rivers and more woods and woods and woods and tree and tree and tree and tree and tree and tree, and you stop. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
24.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. That was a lot, but you're fine.
We're good.
You handle that better than most the first time.
I'm a tough guy. I just take a swig from my water skin to just to wash my mouth out.
Yep. And Meleton walks ahead of you just a little ways, and looking around, you remember this place. You'll never forget the first place you really set foot in the heart of the wilds.
Yeah.
And he walks over to the foundation that is sticking up out of the ground that marks where your entrance back underground will be. Right. I know you're on a timetable, and I want to make sure that you have enough time to get to where you're going.
I'm pretty fast when I need to be.
Well, you're going to be faster. And he hands you 3 scrolls.
Ooh.
He hands you 2 scrolls of Longstrider.
Oh, nice.
And 1 scroll of haste.
Oh, wow.
Mordecai, go fast.
Mordecai, go brrr.
I was just going to say you can literally turn into Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's true. Did y'all see that they released lyrics to that song? Like the original composer?
What?
Yeah, the original composer. Remind me when we're done. I will share the YouTube video. It kind of fucks.
Okay.
Like, I shouldn't have used that word with Sonic, like, anywhere near it. But, no, seriously. It's a bop and a half, because it's just, like, it's guitar. It is cool. Like, I don't know what the lyrics are, because they're all in Japanese. And they've got a weird, like, Sonic stand-in, and it's just this cool teen with a blue hoodie and red Jordans. And he's just running real fast. Like, it's great.
Okay.
It's great. I do recommend.
Very good.
Yes.
All right. I can.
So,
I know what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to, first things first, I'm going to burn another ring charge from the ring of animal influence to flag down let me back up.
Okay.
It was a long trip through the mountains.
It was.
To get from Erdan to here, right?
Yes.
Okay, like several days?
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Because you were underground.
Yeah.
You just know that you need to make the best time possible. You know there is no way you're going to make it without sleeping at least once, if not twice.
Okay. Then in that case, so...
And that is with using all of your tricks.
All right, so probably more... I'm probably covering more than 50 miles today, right?
Probably. If you're burning a lot of tricks, yeah.
Then I'm doing it. I wanted to send an animal messenger to Kella.
Okay.
But I'll do that. That can only travel with a bird that can travel a maximum of 50 miles.
Sure.
In 24 hours. So I'll hold on to that. I think if you'll allow it, one of the things the Ring of Animal Influence can do is cast animal friendship.
Okay.
I want to find a fun bird and charm it with the Ring of Animal Influence. It'll stay charmed to me for 24 hours.
Okay.
So when I wake up in the morning, I can still have the bird nearby to send an animal messenger with.
I will allow this with Shipiji.
Okay.
Because you will be giving up your familiar for the duration of that. But with using the bullshit chain of things that I have given you, it's entirely my fault. I have boxed myself into a corner where I cannot, with any reasonability, not let you do this very fun thing.
So I think my plan is I'll travel day 1. In the morning of day 2, I'll send a Shipiji out.
Okay.
So I'll burn a wild shape and an animal messenger for that.
Okay.
So, travel time. With both wild shapes, I have 6 hours of animal form.
Okay.
I'm going to spend all 6 hours in Chirip Strider form.
Okay.
Because they can see in the dark. They can echolocate.
Yeah.
And so I will I will burn 1 scroll of Long Strider and all 4 of my first level spell slots for Long Strider. So that's 5 hours of increased speed. That's 5 hours of 140 feet per round.
Okay.
Fast.
Okay, 140 feet.
I think
I'm doing some math here now.
I was trying to find the Chirip Strider stat block, but I think I think their speed is the same as a warhorse. They just can have they can just climb and shit.
Yeah, you are covering a stupid amount of speed. You cannot maintain that kind of speed for an incredible amount of time because it is literally sprinting. You are running because that's what a dash is. You are literally running as fast as your body will allow.
So I will end my first day of travel. I'll make a little camp. Produce flames, some campfire. I'll rest. I think at the start of my second day, I really don't have a metric for how far I'm going to be able to get. So I think at the start of this day, I'll burn a wild shape to summon Shipiji.
Okay.
And then use Shipiji as my animal messenger.
Sure.
So I can try. Hopefully Shipiji will be able to fly ahead and catch up with Kella. So I'll tell Shipiji, all right, so you're going to look for, it's my sister. So she kind of looks like me. She's a little thinner. She's got kind of long hair and like a big braid in the back, typically. If you find her, tell her. And so this is Animal Messenger.
Yes.
Kella, it's me. I'm on my way to Erdan. Quietly if I can. Meet me at boat drinks. All right. Go, you beautiful bird.
Shipiji flies off, and you follow after.
Yeah. So I will spend my second wild shape to take another 3 hours of Chirip Strider. I'll burn the other Long Strider scroll. And 2 first level spell slots.
Okay.
For Long Strider for all that time.
Okay. And the rest of that day, you are walking.
Yeah.
Slowly, ploddingly. Eventually, Shipiji does return.
Ooh.
But does not return a message with them.
Yeah. So do I think that Shipiji delivered the message?
Give me an insight check.
Make me incite my own familiar?
Inside the
Yes.
pigeon. Yes.
Yes.
Incite my beautiful pigeon. Could this be animal handling?
Sure.
That's a 19.
Okay. Yeah, you get the impression that Shipiji was successful in their mission.
Cool. Then, great. And if we really want to split hairs here, I can short rest to get my wild shapes back.
Okay.
So I probably travel a little more, probably less than the first day, but a little more than I anticipated on my second.
You get the feeling you're getting close by the end of your second day. You think it's going to be a good time to rest up and take stock and figure out a plan of attack.
Okay. Then I will continue wild shape Chirip striding my way until I think I get close, because I can get those back relatively easily, but I won't burn any spells. I spend every night talking with Hugo, because apparently I don't talk to my animals enough.
You never talk to Amber.
Literally
never.
I never talked to Amber. No, you're right, but
I know I'm right.
Rude.
Yeah, you've met me. You rest up the night.
And I think what I'm going to do as well is pull out some, like, old clothes and not make, like, a disguise, but I'm going to put on, like, a jacket so that my sleeves, my tattoos are covered.
Sure.
I'll if I've got just, like, a basic, like, traveling cloak, I'll just have that wrapped around me to hide, like, the weapons at my sides. Just, like, standard traveler's garb, but different than what Mordecai normally wears. Just to make myself a little less inconspicuous.
You mean a little more inconspicuous?
Yes, a little less conspicuous, a little more inconspicuous.
There it is. You finish putting that on, and you start making your way through. You know you're close. You can hear the echoings of Erdan. They're quieter than they used to be, and you feel like you're closer than you should be hearing them. There's something different in the sounds you are hearing. In addition to it being quieter, you also hear rushing water.
Oh.
Which was not a feature of Erdan as you left it. It's about at this moment when you get a concordance message. The first one you've received since you've split up.
Great.
It's from Zephyr.
Good.
Incoming. Careful, she's feisty.
What?
Immediately in front of you, a pair of moth wings curled up opens, and within them is a shorter elf.
Not a moth.
Not a moth.
Okay.
And immediately, as the wings open and you get like the full like lunar moth vibe, they disintegrate into nothingness.
Hello.
Hello?
You must
I'll
be...
light up a produce flame in my hand so that it's not pitch dark in here.
Oh, that's right. Mordecai can't see in the dark, can he?
I can, but
A little bit.
I have dark vision. I have full dark vision.
Oh, you do? Everybody
I'm a
has dark
shifter.
vision.
I'm an animal.
Fair enough. I was debating that earlier today, and I figured
Zach doesn't.
that's right, because weirdly Dragonborn don't.
That's what it is. Anyway. Hello. You must be Mordecai.
Speaking.
I am Luelda Romanovsky. Zephyr has sent me to help you in shenanigans. I don't know what you are needing.
Oh. Okay. Good. Hi. Yeah, Mordecai.
Hello.
You said Lunelda?
Luelda. You can call me Lu.
Luelda, Lou. Okay. Pleasure to meet you, Lou.
Yes, it's, we are in a large cave.
Boy, we got some things to catch up on.
Apparently,
Let's, how far away from, is Erdan in sight?
Give me a history check or a perception check.
Perception, please. On the table, Half-Hill. That's a nat 19 for a 26.
With a 26, you can tell that there are obvious signs of life in this part of the cavern. You knew, as you're looking around, you can see there are the dust that has been on the ground that has been pretty stable up until this point is relatively cleared. There's nobody around at the moment, but you can tell that this is a path that is more commonly than not traveled. you passed, as you were getting closer to this point, a couple of even offshoot paths. You knew not to take them. They were kind of heading in the opposite direction of where you knew you needed to head. It was a straight shot out, straight shot back in, no exits.
Cool. I look to Lou and say, okay, well, I've been giving a lot of thought about the shenanigans I was going to be getting into.
Yes.
I'd love someone to bounce these ideas off of, actually.
Oh, perfect.
I'll move over to the side of the tunnel and pull some scrap branches out of my bag and use my produce flame to create a little campfire. And I'll take a seat and pull out just like some short rest rations and say, join me.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is weird. I mean...
The last whole few days has been very weird. I was with Addie in the bulwark when the things came.
Mordecai gets noticeably a little more grim at the mention of the Mind Flayers. You know Addie?
Yes.
Okay, so you know Addie, you know Zephyr.
Yes.
Are you from Bulwark?
Yes. That is where I have lived with my brother for all of my life. And then...
Same. Born and raised.
Excellent.
I'm sure you know this from Zephyr and from Addie, but yeah, we were there. The Decimators.
Yeah, we Addie and Robrath and I we went and retrieved part of the what's it called? The lich thing, the gem.
It's a big word, Zephyr said. I'm gonna roll Arcana real quick.
Please.
I got it. Yes, that's a 17.
See?
But like Mordecai says it phonetically, but like not remembering what it means. So he's like a phylactery.
Yes, that's the word. Phylactery.
That's the one.
That held the soul or the something of the King Graynor.
Yeah, Zephyr had mentioned something a lich.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
what was that other name you mentioned?
Robrath. He is another dragonborn that is going with Zephyr.
You guys have been busy.
Yes.
Wow.
We escaped just before all of the ships and things showed up.
Right.
Addie is very good with the teleportation circles.
So, some backstory, I guess. You grew up in Bulwark. You're familiar with the taboos surrounding certain magics and things like that.
Yes.
Zephyr was a smuggler for mages, getting them out from under the thumb of the government sometimes.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Turns out, so was my older sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she worked closer to home. There's nigh on a full city, and I point down the tunnel toward the direction of Erdan. Down here, it's where all the mages were smuggled to and found a new life.
It does exist. Okay.
It's called Erdan.
And it is where Emberi is based from, yes?
You're familiar, then?
I've heard the stories. I've also heard you do not get mixed up with them, ever.
Emberi, I don't know what to make of Emberi. This is what I've been thinking about as I've been walking through these tunnels for the past couple days. Because we spent a full year in Erdan. After the decimation. Okay. Me and Zephyr and our other friend, Jackson.
Yes.
Amberai took us in. And Amberai regarded the person we rescued after the decimation as an old friend. Zephyr mentioned Amareya Dejani.
I don't remember. I don't think he did.
It came up once or twice. He didn't go
But there was no
into
explanation,
the details.
right?
Yeah, it was just, give me a history check at advantage, because it did literally just happen to you.
It's one of my favorite Greenleeisms.
It is
at advantage, because it happened to you.
Yeah. Lou would definitely know this, but Kim cannot that is a 14.
With a 14, you can remember that Amareya Dejani was mentioned in the same breath as the Forebearer, as if they were one and the same.
Okay.
Nice.
Because they were addressing the Grand Entreater of the Forebearer.
A little bit. He talked somewhat about the Amareya being something with the forebearer?
Yes, they were effectively one and the same. Long story short, all this to say is that Amber Eye recognized this man who had been chained under a mountain for who knows how long, which means that Amber Eye is equivalently ancient.
I mean, there are certain peoples that live very, very long lives. It's not impossible.
This is fair, but they're normally not half mechanical spider.
Okay, that's new.
This is going to be a lot of information all at once.
Okay,
you've quite literally been thrown into the deep end.
Well, it seems to be the story of my life, to be honest.
Here's where it gets worse.
Oh.
Amber Eye has created a species, almost. These sort of, like, automaton, artificial, inorganic people called Amberforged.
Okay.
And through all of the nonsense that me and Zafir and Jackson have been through, dollars to donuts. Wait, no. Ducats to donuts? Gold pieces to...
Ganache.
Gold to ganache that the Amberforged are working with the Mind Flayers.
But...
I don't know how. I don't know if Amber Eye is thrown in with the Mind Flayers so he can take a greater control of Bulwark or something. All I know is that when we were off in the wilds, pretty sure Amber Eye was trying to make a power play.
Okay.
Gain more power. And I don't think he was able to acquire it there. So maybe he's throwing in with the Mind Flayers for the promise of power. This is all speculation. But I'm gonna try to take him out.
That would make sense. And there was some commentary about them joining, if I'm remembering correctly, that they seem to be fighting together, or somebody thought they would be, or something along those lines.
We think that the Amberforged and the Mind Flayers are going to be allies.
Okay. So we need to take out the Amberforged as much as possible to prevent the allyship. I'm
hoping that. My hope is that if we can take out their leader, maybe they'll stand down, maybe they'll even flip sides.
Okay.
That's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is that there are a bunch of mages down here who might be able to help.
Okay. So there are mages that have been helped by Amber Eye and have been living down here.
But if they think that Amber Eye is going to destroy their city...
Okay, that's fair.
Like I said, it's
a
half a plan at best. But I don't know what else to do.
Okay, so I am not particularly persuasive. I'm more of a hide in the shadows and, obtain things for others.
That's actually perfect. Because I'm not persuasive either. That was Zafir's job. But, and I kind of pat the workman's gavel on my hip, the big hammer. I wasn't really looking to persuade Amber Eye.
Well, I was referring to the mages.
Hopefully my sister can handle that.
Oh, okay. That would make more sense. So she was sneaking them out in the first place. I suppose she would be a good one to be trusted. That would make sense. Okay.
So, this is what you're getting yourself into if you're still on board.
I'm stuck in a tunnel in somewhere I don't even know where I've been teleported to. I think I'm here for the longer haul.
We're not far from Bulwark, all things considered. It's...
All right, then.
Home court advantage. Kind of.
It's more like the home undercourt advantage.
Ooh, the undercourt. Hugo, write that down.
You got it, boss.
And a very thick mouse crawls out of my pocket.
Oh, you...
With a very tiny ledger. Scribble, scribble. Sinks back down into the pocket.
Hugo, meet Lou. Lou, this is Hugo.
Squeak.
You have a mouse.
Yeah, he's a good pal.
Hello.
Squeak. Squeak. Sinks back down.
You trying to put the moves on my new friend?
I have been seduced by a mouse.
Squeaks with a wink. Squeak.
Squink.
Squink, no. Don't like squink.
The two of you continue down this long, cavernous hallway until you reach the outskirts of Erdan. And if you would be so kind as to turn your attention to the Discord, you will see an updated map.
My guy. Bro, there's a fucking river down here.
And that's the first thing you notice.
Well, the first thing I notice is the airship.
That's the second. Well, that's the other thing that you notice. The first thing that you notice is that there is, in fact, a massive river cutting straight through the city. It looks like most of the buildings were cleared away, but there's definitely some that have been overtaken by water, dividing the city into two portions.
That's new.
The central tower of the city, the Amber Watch, has a new neighbor in that of an airship that is hovering between it and the river itself.
We're underground. Why do they have a fucking airship?
I wonder why. That's a really good question.
Oh, no. Mordecai, I think, has that entire moment out loud.
Lou tends to go quiet and just observe everything when something new and whatever comes into view. So as Mordecai's freaking out, Lou is just standing there kind of wide-eyed, like trying to take in as much as she can.
Mordecai, as you start freaking out, a familiar hand, flies to your mouth.
Oh, no.
You idiots. Shut the fuck up and come back here. Are you a friend? And you, Lou, you turn around.
I have a dagger out.
And as Mordecai's nodding, you have a dagger out and you see a female version of Mordecai. It's a dead ringer. It's kind of eerie.
And I look her up and down, and I see Mordecai, frantically, gesturing at me. I kind of narrow my eyes, and I look from Mordecai, and I look to her.
Yeah, it's good.
She removes her hand as you turn around and see your sister, Kella, for the first time in a little while.
Hey, sis.
Brother, you got a friend?
This is Lou. Lou, this is my sister, Kella.
Lou.
Hello.
Pleasure.
It's good to meet you.
Come on over here.
Yeah, sorry.
Telling me to meet you at boat drinks. You know that's the first place they locked down.
I truly know nothing. There's a river now?
There's a river now.
I point to the airship.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Hold on.
Read a brother in.
She looks over her shoulder and motions you guys to run into an abandoned house as you see an amber searchlight sweep over towards you guys.
Oh my god, this is full panopticon.
I take off.
Lest we forget, Mordecai's upbringing was in subterfuge. He's not the sneakiest, but he can kind of walk the walk.
But he can sneak.
Yeah, he's not completely bumbling. He's not certainly not as proficient at it as Kella or even Lou, but he knows when to go into stealth mode.
Yeah. You find yourselves in a house that is clearly recently disused. And you also see another individual, human, dark-haired, sitting at the table. Right. This is Connor.
Yes!
Connor, this is my brother and Luelda.
Hey.
Hey there.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Wish it was under better circumstances, but here we are.
I'll look to Kella and gesture to Connor. Also a friend?
Yeah. Yeah, he's, friend's good.
I'll take friend.
I just, get a smirk on my face looking at them and, friend. Okay.
Hit that insight, Lou.
Oh, no. By the by, I'm working off the assumption that Zephyr has never told me about Connor Slip.
Same.
Insight. That's a 20. Dirty 20.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they're a thing.
No.
Okay.
They're a thing.
Okay.
I'm into it.
I just look
Yeah.
at Mordecai, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell him.
Nah. Look, we got a thing going
Mordecai, blissfully unaware, Sebulwark.
on. Okay. So, let me read you two in on the new hellscape we've got going on down here. It's super fun, and I hate it a lot.
Yeah.
So, A couple of days after you left, Mordecai,
Yeah.
Amber Eye dropped down an order. Every so often he does this, where it was billed as an order to try and bring some more fresh water into the area. We had found a wellspring deeper in the caverns.
Okay.
He wanted to turn it into a river that ran through the city. It was all hands on deck, moving out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we opened this up, and then we opened up a cavern further down. It runs, I don't even know how far. Well, I have an idea of how far now, because, about like 4 days ago, maybe, I don't know, time is still weird down here, a fucking bunch of Mind Flayer ships just came down river. It just used the opening and floated on through. Amber Eye told everybody not to worry. It would be fine. They're friends. And then they just went on through.
Well, you're correct.
They passed through.
A bunch of them did. Not all of them, because I've gotten some word from up top.
Yeah.
They're the big one, that one warped in. Everything else just came right on through, and apparently that leads to the fucking caldera.
Why the hell? Okay. Mordecai sits down.
Yeah,
Mordecai sits down and pulls the bottle of road whiskey out of his bag and just sets it on the table.
Connor grabs it and takes some glasses out of his pack, just sets one down in front of everybody and just starts pouring. Right then. So we had a situation where a couple of the Mind Flayers, they decided to stay back, do some trade with our inglorious leader as it is. We were all told to stay in our homes. And that's when the screaming started.
Great.
Warforged have been maintaining a mandatory curfew ever since they showed up. And we've been hearing and seeing folk getting dragged off.
Fuck.
Sometimes by Warforged. Sometimes by those fucking things. Amber Eye's using us as chattel. He's feeding us to those fucking monsters while they go ahead and take care of Topside. A steady supply to supplement whatever the hell is going on up in Bulwark.
I think I take a slow look to Lou and just say, this is a lot worse than I thought.
Well, considering what I saw top before we left, doesn't surprise me.
That bad up there?
We were in the circle with the mages, that's thing.
Yeah.
We were in there, and Magus Diamond were having a meeting with her, and that's where the Mind Flayers came in for the first time that we saw. So they were either controlling her or she was working with them.
They got Diamond?
Yeah.
And that causes Kella to sink back into her chair.
Yeah, same. Guides, damn it.
We weren't expecting it, and thankfully we caught that she wanted the phylactery thing back together. So thankfully we stopped that.
Wow.
Wait, what phylactery? All right, well, yeah, what phylactery?
I'll fill in Kella on Greynor's a lich.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Golden Inspiration.
Yeah, no, you give
Mind
them
Flayers, Amber Forged.
You give them the full contextual download.
Yeah.
This causes both of them to sink further into their chairs.
I pull out a second bottle of road whiskey and some cold bacon just to have there.
Connor is shaking his head. No, Kel, I gotta go. You cannot go. I can't lose you out there. I need you here.
Connor, we've only just met, but my whole reason for swinging back here and splitting off from the people I've been truly inseparable from for the past, 2 years is to deal with things here, is to deal with Amber Eye.
I know. All right, look,
and we got few enough ally. I
understand. Listen to the words I'm saying.
Yep.
I've been having dreams for days now.
Cool.
Something within the earth is calling me. Something is calling me down below to find some kind of power to fight this thing. I've never had anything like this, Mordecai.
You a wizard or?
No!
Warlock?
I'm sneaky and I'm good at lying. You know Zephyr, right? I used to work with Zephyr.
Yeah.
Before he got involved in... Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I work with your sister. Like...
Yeah. No, I got that much.
That's my whole thing. I'm good at lying about folk, but I've... Something is calling me.
Okay.
Something below. Something is pulling me deep. And if I can get it, I might be able to help out later. There's nothing I can fucking do here. I'm worthless in a fight, and if they catch me outside, I'm dead instantly. We're useless to Amber Eye at this point, by all accounts.
Okay. Your point's been made, yeah.
How far down?
I don't know. I gotta go. It's one of the hunting trails. I never took it, but somewhere down there's something that can help us. I don't know what it is. I gotta go. And Kella is just...
Yeah, I'll look to her of like, I don't know this cat. Like,
yeah. My brother is here now. If this is something you really feel like you need to do, be safe, please. Connor sighs and nods. I'll be back as soon as I can. I promise. With that, Connor stands up and walks over to Kella and takes her in an embrace, and she hugs back. And they pull away into a kiss, which probably is a little startling to Mordecai.
Yeah, Mordecai definitely like he's legitimately looking at the hug like, look how two good friends they are. And then
and they were roommates.
And they were roommates. And then Mordecai he sees them smooch, and Mordecai literally goes, "Oh," and turns away.
Whereas I'm just sitting there, like, I look and I see and I avert my eyes because that's what you do, but it's not like...
Yeah. Like, Mordecai doesn't blush. Like, he's just like, oh, I should give them their, that's a thing. It's my older sister. It's like, I don't think about that kind of stuff with her. I don't have that weird context.
Connor nods to the both of you and jumps out a window.
I was like reaching out to give him a handshake, and he just...
Yeah, the glass has already been knocked out.
Okay, good.
Dives out into the darkness, and you go to the window, and he's already gone.
That's the way you normally leave?
He likes it.
Homie just loves stunting out of windows.
As someone who has professionally stunted out of windows, can confirm it's a 2.5. Right then. So
let me just tell you what I was planning on doing when I got here, and you tell me now how impossible that plan is. Let's start there.
Okay, what's the thought?
Because I was going to find you, who's much sneakier than me.
Already a really good plan.
And then I found Lou, or Lou found me. Mm-hmm. And Lou seems much sneakier than me.
I have a scent by Sophia.
Kella sizes you up and just gives you a quick nod.
I do like the reverse head nod. Like,
yep.
Respect.
Yeah.
And like, I know you know how Mom's like a theoretical caster?
Yes.
I'm a theoretical spy. Like,
yes.
I understand the practice and the premise, but I never got good at like Dad's my size, but like he's light on his feet. I never got that. But I picked up some of that druid stuff, so I figured I could turn into a squirrel or something and hide in one of your pockets while we sneak in someplace, and I'm holding out hope. I don't know how any of this works, but from Dad's teachings and from my time with the General, I was hoping to take Amber Eye out at the top.
That is the best plan. It's going to be tricky.
Well, sure. It was never going to be easy.
I feel like the river was put there partially to make it harder to get to him. Only way into the city is either going to be through the path you just came down, which, as far as he is aware, nobody knows about except for you, and he hasn't known where you've been since his Amberforge left Lee.
Right.
The only other ways into the city are by the river, which is it's fast. You don't want to navigate it without some kind of like a boat or something like that, or through the minecart, which, whilst technically still operable, goes directly to Amberwatch.
That'd be the equivalent of knocking down the front door.
Exactly. So,
if I can take a day, I think the river can be some very viable options. I have some old notes from Mr. Taldway, from the guy Mom sent me off to Despera.
Sure.
He was all interested in, like water was one of his big things, and he left me with some of his old notes. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to honestly pursue druidic crafts long enough for them to make sense, but I was bored at night, and I was reading them, and I think maybe I can figure out what kind of stuff he was talking about in those notes.
If you can get that figured out, that would be great. There's also the bridges. They're being watched, but maybe we could figure something out with those.
If you could rig it up to somehow go under the bridge, if you could, stick to it.
Kella continues. So, after we get past there, we've got the market, which is mostly dead at this point. There's some decent things there, though, that we might be able to nick along the way, but that also puts us at a higher risk for getting caught. And then we have to get through Amberwatch, which is 2 floors that are being watched up to Amber Eye's actual chambers, where he is working perpetually. And if we can catch him there, unawares, we can probably take him out pretty quickly and easily. And then it's just figuring out everything else after that.
Do you have any indication as to whether or not the Amber Forged are, under any sort of, mind control from Amber Eye?
She takes a moment and kind of leans back and then leans forward. And she's very clearly, just trying to, process words.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no, as unhelpful as that is. Amber Eye, I've known him for a while. And I have learned 2 contradictory but indispensable truths about the man.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of, if not the smartest person in the entire peninsula. He's also a fucking moron. He's an idiot. He's incredibly foolhardy. He believes that everybody is an absolute buffoon compared to him. And he didn't build half of this stuff on his own. He is minimally 500 years old. He is from the time of Amareya Dejani.
Yeah.
He did not build all of this. He was a wealthy man. He bought it. He has learned a fair bit.
Sure.
500 years is a long time to learn many things. But the Amber Forged are not his creation. He just put his stamp on them.
Oh.
This is a stamp that I thoroughly believe can be removed. I have not been in his workshop. I can only imagine that the solution is in there. And any Amber Forge that he has made since then, because there have been some made, they would be an unfortunate thing. To have your entire life stripped away in that moment. They may still be a problem. But there are many, many ones that were created at or before his time even, that are under his sway, that I'm certain would be glad to receive a bit of their consciousness back.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking that do we know where his workshop is?
4th floor, right above his lair.
Above, of course.
If we can get up there, we'll be fine. If we can take him out or even sneak past him, we'll be fine. We just have to
bad
get
guys,
to him.
bad guys, lair, workshop.
Yes.
Okay.
There are windows on the outside, but I don't know how much of a climber either of you 2 are.
I can turn into something that climbs very well,
Oh.
but probably is very overt.
Well,
I mean,
not a whole lot of squirrels down here, but maybe worth trying.
You could be a spider or something, maybe?
I could do that. Or, I've got options.
Okay.
Here's the thing. While climbing the outside of the tower sounds super sneaky and cool, the second someone spots 3 people climbing the side of a tower, we're toast.
When we get there, we'll get to that. But let's we've got a lot to get through before we even start on that.
I just need to know whether or not I'm preparing water spells.
I don't know, that's your call.
Where in the town are we currently?
So, if you are looking at the map, and hey, people who are listening, if you want to see this very cool map that I made, you can, not to toot my own horn too much, I just really like it.
It's a good map.
It is very good.
You can check that out on the Patreon. It's free to see there.
Nice.
But also, hey, check out that Patreon. Wink, wink.
Patreon.com/ghostlightmedia.
So if you are looking at the very top of the map, you can see where the stones kind of part and the brown kind of continues off. You came in right into that clearing, and you are in that second house right up top there. You are pretty close to where the buildings that are flooded over are.
Okay.
You can see one of the bridges. You can see the Amber Watch, and you can see the airship.
Okay.
Sweet.
There was an amber light that came over us from, did it seem to be stationary, or was it, on something else?
It looked like a searchlight.
It's like an Eye of Sauron situation.
Exactly. Yeah, you look outside, and you can see this amber light is doing slow turns around the city.
Like from the watchtower itself? Or
from the top of the watchtower.
Okay.
Is there access underwater, or would underwater just get us close? Is there a sub-level that, there's underwater access to, a la Dishonored?
It would be tricky. It would be very tricky. And that water is filled with some pretty nasty critters, too. We could go through, because there's the cistern below, and it feeds into all of the houses over on that side. Was carved out right before they brought the water in.
Sure.
But the problem is getting in there, hoping it isn't being guarded, and then making our way up. Well, it's a different set of challenges, but it might be one or two fewer, if a little bit harder.
Maybe it's twofold then. Maybe it's we get close using the river, then we try to scale the outside of the tower as high as we can go.
What kind of nasty creatures are we talking? I say just nibbly fish?
Like a big snake in there. It was like a big white snake. Didn't like that.
I can fight a big snake. That's fine.
It was a big snake, Mordecai.
I've fought swamp elementals in the time that we've been gone.
I mean, that's great, but it's a big snake.
That's fine. I'll make it my friend. I did it to a T-Rex in the Feywild.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard what I said.
I'm mad. I am mad that I do not have the luxury of volume to call the bullshit I think you're slinging right now. But we will talk about this later.
You know I'm a terrible liar. I say as smugly as I fucking can.
I'm gonna push you into the river. And she walks away. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia. A special thanks to our donor, Nathan N., or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Griffin at GriffCold, and Kim at Metzger. Kim can also be found on the Beholder's Eye podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that the best laid plans of mice and men are often foiled by surprise rivers.
This has been a Ghostlight Media production.